Live. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Stacy, say hi to everybody.
Hello everybody. As always, we're sliding in, trying to get everything done at once. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us good. While Chris gets his coffee, I've got my tea. By the way, I'll give a plug for Hoosier coffee. When I do drink coffee, that's the only coffee I pretty much drink, and it is absolutely the best. We don't get paid to talk about them, but they're a vet-owned company and some really good people. So if you are going to drink coffee and want to make an order, check out the link in the description. And good
It's
people.
really good.
They
It's
are.
really
That's
good
good coffee. They got several. They've got the plain just black, like Night Ops. That was one of my favorites. Then they've got flavored coffee too, which is really good. But man, you guys, yeah, ice is back, Mr. Eddie. Well, you can hear our rocket stove in the background again. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about this week. As we talked last night on the video, or last night I guess we did the video, night before, of where, yeah, I have been following it crazy this week. And follow us on our Twitter channel because that's where I've been posting a lot of stuff about the pardons. Oh my goodness. Did you guys just see the news clip that came out between the mayor of, sorry, stop me if you want to jump in, the mayor of LA and Trump got into it right on camera at a press conference? Oh, I just posted it to our Twitter account. If you guys saw it, let me know. He basically called her out because he was saying, she's saying that people cannot go back to their homes for at least a week. He said, why a week? He said, a week is forever. Everything's burned down. He said, the people are saying they'll move the debris themselves. He said, if you guys do it, which that's what they're saying they want to do, he said, you're going to charge $25,000, $30,000, and it's going to be 7 months before they get in there to do anything. He said, let the people go back to their homes. And you could see the disgust on his face for her.
They're worried about vandalism, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said, Stray Kitten, I can't keep up with the Trump news. Man, oh, can't hear Stacy.
I have got, where's your?
Am I on? I turned it on.
Yeah, you got to turn it up.
Okay. Here.
I've got a pile of news. Well, I just kind of wanted to go over some of the declassification stuff. Several.
Okay, Stacy, move your mic. Stacy, oh man, I'm sorry, you guys. I just talked for nothing. So give me a thumbs up if my mic's better. I should always do a mic test. We do this every time.
So it's not my mic anymore. It's yours.
Usually it's yours.
So the declassification, if you guys want to kind of follow along, I went to CNN Politics because, you know, why not? I like to see what they're saying. It's always interesting. But what they have, they can't really distort because it's what he's done. All the things he's done, January 23rd, January 20th through the 23rd. And we have more than that. Stacy's got more than that. But I wanted to kind of go back and try to figure out what declassifications are they talking about. I'm not going to talk too much about the Lumbee tribe. You know, they're giving them recognition. That was one of the first ones, or one of the last ones they signed. But, like, what does it mean? Keep America safe in aviation. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And some of this, it seems to me, as good as Trump seems to be and is, and as hard of a working person as he is, and the people he's putting in charge is great, the person that's next in line could use a lot of these things the wrong way. A lot of this could be putting things in place that aren't going to be good. And we'll get into that a little bit. That's not what this video is about, to try to, you know, poke holes in Trump's plan. I think he's doing a good job. I just can't help, but he's only going to be in there for 4 years. And then what? That's when they steal another election and we have all these different things that they can distort, like keeping Americans safe in aviation. And I've took some notes, printed them out, and tried to make them as small as possible, but it's not really working out. These things are long.
That's a lot. So let's just, sorry, my mic is better now. Thank you. You guys said you like seeing us back on Coffee, the weekly. Thank you. That's actually why we brought it back, because some of you guys called and said that you enjoyed it, because we weren't really sure, what works and what doesn't. But I don't know if you guys, since you couldn't hear my mic, you guys, so much stuff has happened this week. He has done more in 5 days, 6 days, however many days you want to say when he started, than maybe Biden did in a whole 4 years. I mean, it is unreal. I couldn't keep up this week.
Well, Biden didn't do anything himself. He didn't know where the door was. He might have known where the ice cream bucket was. But, there was somebody else in charge that's completely obvious. And I think anybody that voted for him that has enough brain cells to tie their shoe would know they've been bamboozled. So take it easy on them. The people that voted for the other side, they know they got tricked, and they're probably having a hard time with it.
Steve said executive orders are not in the Constitution. So that is correct. So do you think they'll be enforced? Because look, he just did an emergency order for the border, but ICE agents are out there like crazy right now. They're actually being able to do their job, which interestingly enough, they kind of knew where these people were. They were like, it feels like they were just sitting there waiting to be giving the okay to do their job. At least that's what it seems like. But I know they've made a lot of arrests, and they showed a video of them deporting them. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
You're talking about oh man, there's so many of them. How does he wore his pen out. That's why I gave it to RFK.
Oh, that was a priceless moment when he did the documents, when he said we're releasing the documents for, MLK, Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, and then he took that pen and he handed it and he said, hey, give that to Bobby Kennedy. I thought that was that was a good moment. I like that. But so I'm going to talk about, can we start with the pardons?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm having trouble getting through all these notes.
Well, that's a lot of stuff if you go through that they signed. I'm just going to hit some kind of the highlights.
Go ahead.
So thought we'd start with the pardons. I wonder what you guys think about all the pardons that he did. And I'll just mention a few of them that he did. Obviously, the January 6th, that was extremely controversial because apparently he pardoned pretty much across the board, except for he took some that he said that he was going to review. And apparently some, they said, attacked cops at the Capitol. I've not been able to prove that, but tell me if you guys can. And there was some controversy on that.
I know a few people that were there.
So it was nothing like apparently what they claim it was like.
The people that were there said you could tell, 100% you could tell who was there that shouldn't have been where they were at. You could tell how they were dressed, how they looked. When you see some purple-haired people hanging out with the conservative side, not have anything to do with purple hair. That was probably a bad analogy. Purple hair's fine. But you know what I mean. They're dressed the part of a liberal, left-wing, wild-eyed Democrat, and they're hanging out with conservatives, and they're the ones that stir the pot. And then they said you could tell. You could tell how it went down, and it was just a bad deal. And they're going to do it again.
Well, I guess some of the controversy also came around the fact that when we were talking about before January the 6th, and when certain things happened like George Floyd and all that, there were massive riots. Businesses burned down. People lost their business. Did insurance step in and pay for that? And a lot of those people weren't even prosecuted. So there was a lot of controversy that I kept hearing. But however, the ones that, from what I understand, peacefully protested, they said the Capitol doors were open. They just walked in. They did not do anything. They've been released, and I'm so glad because that was literally 4 years of their life that was taken away. I watched some of the videos of them being released and seeing their families again. Another part I want to talk about is the Beverly Wilson. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she prayed outside of an abortion clinic. I don't know all the exact details, but she was arrested and sentenced, and maybe she blocked the door. I don't know. But to me, that sentence seemed harsh, and he pardoned her. And I watched the video of her being released, getting to see her kid, and that one was pretty cool. And then I think he pardoned like 23 other pro-life that had protested. So his pen has been signing some pardons.
It has. Let me go back to the Martin Luther, where he declassified the records. This is JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King. You know, over 50 years has passed since the events. The Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992 mandated the full disclosure of these records by 2017. Various certifications and postponements have delayed the release. Why? How is that? Declassified 2017. Okay, so we've got to wait 50 years to hear the truth. How is that legal?
Well, they did Clinton's. They did all his stuff too.
It's crazy.
They sealed them.
How, you know, we can know, but you guys don't need to know. This. You're not on a need-to-know basis. You know, it's crazy. The president has now concluded that the continued redaction is not in the public's interest and has directed the director of National Records with specified time frames. So, are we going to know? Are they going to okay, it's declassified. Now, can we know now? I mean, or is this just another? No, we're gonna push this back a little bit longer. I don't like it. I mean, why not just be open? Oh, this happened. Sorry. Let's move on and not do it again. Or maybe they want to keep doing whatever it is they did. We'll see. I don't like that. Removing barriers to American leadership in AI. This was concerning for me, and it's easy to walk through that and talk about it. Just talk over it, rather. The executive order of removing barriers to American leadership in AI. Just think about that. Removing barriers.
What was this one? I missed that
This
one,
is
I guess.
removing barriers to American leadership in AI. So it sounds, all of a sudden it sounds like,
By
wait a minute.
Revoking what? By revoking?
By revoking existing policies that hinder innovation. It establishes a policy to promote AI development free from ideological bias, emphasizing its importance for human well-being, economic competitiveness, and national security within 180 days. Key advisors and agencies heads must develop an action plan to achieve these goals. The order also mandates a review of previous directives that conflict with this new policy, ensuring a supportive environment for AI advancement. So now we're removing maybe some safety nets for our leadership.
Well, we just did that video about the, the Stargate.
I know, and that's, I have a hard time with all this.
That's definitely a concern. So yeah, I'd missed that one, I guess, or maybe, what was the name of that one? Removing?
Barriers to American leadership.
Unless it has to do with the Stargate.
That's bothersome. Keeping America safe in aviation, that was the executive order address.
I saw that one, yeah.
To make aviation safe. Now, what did they do? What was it? You had to deal with a bunch of it. You could sign affidavits with.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
What was that called?
That was subpoenas. It was the
subpoenas, yeah.
The Patriot Act.
Patriot Act.
Yeah.
How many freedoms did we lose during that?
Oh yeah, I could sign a subpoena. No, actually, I didn't sign them. I had a rubber stamp with my boss's signature, and I just went. I served. I can't tell you how many subpoenas per day when I used to work there.
But this goes back to
this was tracking you. This was tracking you. So no telling what they're doing now.
It goes back to the DEI. So hiring practices that allegedly compromise safety by favoring individuals based on characteristics like race, disability, rather than merit and competence. So, you know, I hope the DEI stuff, didn't he do away with all of that?
So
he told them all to go home, didn't he?
Well, but he put them on paid leave.
Like, don't call me, I'll call you?
Yeah, he put them on paid leave January 22nd at 5 p.m. And they're going to review. So I don't know, these people, do they lose their jobs?
That's what it says, requires a review of the performance of the individuals in critical safety roles. So, I mean, that sounds pretty good. Defending women from gender ideology.
That's when he came out and he said there's only two genders, female and male. Yep, he came out with that too.
It's crazy that had to be an executive order. Wow.
He's also,
Thanks.
speaking of that, because he's also for the military, he's reinstating anyone that did not take the you-know-what and were released or discharged. If they want to come back, they can come back, and he's giving them pay for the whole entire time, which I really think that one I really, really like. That one I like a lot. I like some of the pardons he's done. I like the DEI stuff he's done. I like the fact that he's going to reinstate the military, that they chose to stand up and make that choice, and he's going to give them back pay. They deserve that. I like that one.
Protecting the American people against invasion, which that's exactly what was happening
That's
at the
the
border.
one. Yep.
Yes, this is.
He also sent 1,500 extra troops, or I think National Guard, to the border.
Policy reversal is one of the first ones when it comes to this one. The order revokes several prior executive orders related to immigration enforcement and mandates federal agencies to ensure the strict application of immigration laws. That would have solved the border problem. We would have never had a border problem if they would have just done what it was supposed to be done. That's the biggest, it's a big gray area, like, well, don't come over here, but if you do, just don't drive and pay your taxes. But, if you get caught, we're just going to fine you and we're not going to send you back. But, but you shouldn't drive. It's real kind of, slap your hand. There's no, hey, this is the way it is. If they would have been doing that, it would have never happened. This would have never happened. Biden absolutely rolled the red carpet out for them.
Well, he gave them money and didn't even give our vets money. And look at the people in North Carolina right now. He didn't even help our people in North Carolina. I mean, those guys are hurting bad. But yet, you got people living in hotels. I mean, at one point was it like half of New York's hotels were being rented by the state of New York and housing illegal immigrants? I believe that was correct. And they were paying them a good penny too. That didn't come cheap. And providing them food. Heck, I don't even get that.
The Secretary of Homeland Security is tasked with prioritizing removal of aliens who threaten public safety. This is priority, not to be confused with what you hear on the news. Like, they're going to send everybody home that's illegal, and they're going to rip families apart, and he's Hitler, and all this other stuff. They're prioritizing people that are violent, that are criminals. It's that simple, and I think that's what he's going to do.
That's what they're already doing.
It's not anybody's benefit to send people.
It's already almost 400 people that they've gone and arrested, and every single one of them had a rap sheet. They even showed a video, which once again on Twitter I shared it, where the guy's literally leaning out. He had 17 charges. All these people that they've arrested either have raped, murdered, molested kids, robbery. They all have a rap sheet either here in the United States or in another country. He literally was leaning out the car as they were pushing him in the ICE car, telling basically, you know what, to Trump, F Trump, and then he was saying, go Biden, because Biden let me come here and stay here. If that doesn't tell you what's going on, I don't know what else does. And I think he's from Haiti, and he said, I'm not going back, and he was arrested for, I think he was either murder or rape.
Detention and removal was highlighted in here. It's no longer, they catch them and let them loose again 10 times. It directs the construction and operation of facilities for detaining removable aliens and emphasizing expedited removal. So it's putting them on the fast track.
I like it. I like it.
They have something here with victim support for reestablishing an office with ICE to support victims of crimes committed by the removal of by removable aliens. So they're setting things up to help people that have been harmed by these aliens. Funding and benefits, increased personnel. The order aims to significantly increase the number of immigration enforcement agents and officers. I don't see anything bad there. Not a thing.
So the only one, truthfully, everything that I've seen him sign, because I've watched him sign so many orders, I've tried to look up, on the White House, they've actually come out on the White House and put it on their website. You can go look. Once again, it's on our Twitter page, that they're even saying no CBDC. Interesting to see how that's going to roll out, because he's saying we're going to be leading the cryptocurrency. That'll I don't know, that'll play itself out. The only, like I said, there's so many good things he's done this week, in my opinion, except for the Stargate thing. That's the only one that's gave me pause. But I don't know if you guys have been following it, but put it in the comments. Do you think these executive orders that he signed are good, bad? And I want to talk also about the security details that he's been, and he's also been taking away security clearances from former employees like John Bolton, Mike Pompeo. Let's see, what was the other one? He even did Anthony Fauci. Do you know his security detail? They said estimated around 15 million. Do you know how much money that just saved our government? So if you're no longer employed with the government and you had high-profile offices, sorry, I just completely.
Keep on going.
But do you think you should still have security clearance, one, and security detail? So a lot of these government employees, military even, when you're at a certain level, and I've watched them do it for years and years, because when I worked in the government, I saw them do it. When you reached a certain level and you knew you were getting ready to retire or getting ready to leave, they would make contacts with certain companies and, well, became friends with them. And when they left, conveniently, they got a really nice job at these companies. And they kept their security clearance, because that's a big deal. You have a security clearance, you get access to certain things. When I walked away, I obviously lost mine. I had to go through 2 briefings when I left and sign all these documents, and I lost my security clearance, which was pretty, it was fairly decent high up there. And so I am thrilled that he is revoking their security clearances. They should not have access. If you've left, you should not have access. And why are we paying for their security? Now, so I think it was Mike Pompeo said, now I'm going to have my life threatened by Iran or someone like that. Trump nailed it when he was asked about it in an interview the other day. He said, are you going to be concerned that if something happens to them? He said, they have made enough money off of us. Tell them to go hire their own personal security detail if they feel threatened. And I applaud that. So I'd like to know your thoughts on that, because I think they should be revoked. You leave the government, you don't get a clearance. You leave the military, you don't get a clearance. And another thing Pete came out and said is that he said generals, which one of the same thing, they get these contracts after they leave because they've made friends with certain people. He said they should not be allowed to do any of that kind of business for at least a few years. I'm for that. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering how that's going to go down.
Pete's getting confirmed, apparently. Maybe he already has. I don't know. I haven't checked the news this morning.
I'm not going to say anything more about the border. Securing our borders was another one. And it's just more me reading, which isn't the best. But they've got pretty specific detention guidance. Personal deployment, different things, sufficient personnel will be deployed to ensure operational control over the border, with the Attorney General and Homeland Security contributing additional support. The border crisis is going to stop. They're putting up physical barriers. How's it even a border? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you don't have a border to your country, you don't really have a country.
But I agree, but I think he needs to do more than just the wall. Another thing he just did was he suspended aid to all countries for 90 days while he reviews it. And he's also installing that policy again where you stay in Mexico. And he suspended the app. The app, remember, that they had, that they could claim asylum, get a date, and then just came right over the border? He suspended that app too. He's also taken down
they're
different
really
websites.
mad about that.
They are. So it's more than just a wall. You got to do other things. I love the fact, though, he suspended all foreign aid to countries for 90 days. Love it. He even said it in his World Economic Forum speech, which I thought was fabulous. Probably one of his best speeches, where he gave stats, regulations, what to do, what he's going to do, and basically came out and he called out Bank of America and said, you need to start loaning to conservatives. That's a problem. And ironically, right after that, they came out and put a statement out saying, we loan to conservatives. We're open to anybody. And I think it was
whatever's popular, they're going to do.
They're going to do. I think it was I forget which YouTube. Someone on Twitter said, "No, that's not the case. I've got letters to prove it that you denied us." I think it was I can't think of his name now. Anyway.
CB Carmack says, make the wall electric. And he says, laugh out loud. I think that's absolutely what should happen. It should be, you know, when you're doing something, it needs to be, this is the way it is. And if you don't understand that, then touch the wire, you know, and you'll learn that way. I don't know what's wrong with that.
That could.
We didn't have to kill them, just, you know, shock them a little bit.
Somebody said on here the birthright
like
citizen,
a cattle prod.
Rick in Charge Mopar, and let's see, Steve and somebody else said the birthright citizenship needs to end. Okay, do you know I think we're the only country that if you're born here, you get citizenship? And if I'm wrong, put it in the comments and let me know. But I believe, if I'm correct, we're the only country that allows you to be born here and you get automatic citizenship.
That's in the Constitution, right?
That's what I understand. So
yeah. So what are you going to stop? When are you going to stop taking away from the Constitution? Where's the line? Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be a strong border and keep that. Like.
Well, he did sign an executive order, but I don't know if you're going to enforce that one because you're right. It is in the Constitution. So someone said that it would have to go through legislation. That one can't be enforced.
I guess it's the same. The Constitution's been muddled to the point where we have to change it now. And now I'm starting to, and that sounds like I'm talking on CNN, you know. They set up a simple Constitution that was perfect. You know, it was really good. I think God had a lot to do with it. And now, when you have people twisting it and bending it, you know, what now?
So Rick said it was written to give citizenship to slaves. Okay, the 14th Amendment. Somebody said the 14th Amendment is not clear, but someone said it is clear. I don't know. I need to look into that a little bit. I'm not going to speak on that a whole lot because I don't really.
Mexico denied shipment of illegals, so they're not going to take them back. Is what they're saying.
I don't know.
They denied. Well, here's the thing: the people that came across the border weren't exactly Mexicans.
Well, they were from all over.
Yeah, but the people. The tens of thousands of people from China and Russia probably aren't going to stay in Mexico very long. They're probably just going to go back, you know, to where they came from.
Well, babe, some of them didn't. And here's the interesting thing. So Canada's also fussing about this because they're saying that, oh, not a lot of people came through. But stats show that, yeah, some people have. Not as much as Mexico, obviously. But then you've got that program where they actually flew them in. I cannot tell you the number of people that they flew them in from other countries, including people that had criminal backgrounds. They just deported one the other day. He actually flew in. It was Haiti or from Venezuela, I forget. And they flew him in. He didn't go through Mexico, committed crimes here, and now they're deporting him, of course, but we flew him in. How stupid is that?
Rolf, my good buddy Rolf, he's in the comments. He said, Pete is in. Vance vote made it.
Oh, good. Good.
And
I knew he had like 51, and they were trying to, I guess, make it formal.
I want to talk about Rolf a little bit. This is one of the people I actually found when I went to purchase something off of, maybe it wasn't Facebook Marketplace. Maybe it was word of mouth, that one. But I have met 3 really incredible people just through Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. So just getting out and going to meet people that are selling tools and stuff, and you talk with them, and it's like, wow, we're going to be friends for a long time. It just happened to me last week. Again, just like-minded people, and you know it when you see it. That was one of the best things about the meetups that we used to do, is meeting people that were like-minded and had the same values. And it's good to see you here, Rolf. It's good to see all you guys here. Pete, Sasquatch, another awesome person I met in person. Mr. Eddie, Nancy West, so nice. Miss Nancy's so nice. She was the people that made the comment on the last video where I said name this YouTube channel. That little girl is really doing a good job, and she's so committed at the equestrian jumping horse thing.
She's good.
I don't know much about it, but I know a 2,000-pound animal can jump 5 foot with somebody on its back is pretty wild. It's a pretty dangerous sport. Check that video out. It's just real short. Trying to encourage these young people, because sometimes it just takes a little bit of encouragement, just a little push with a warm hand to just nudge somebody in the right direction, and that sets their course. It happened to me. You know, when I was welding, when I was real young, I was starting to learn how to weld. A few people just kind of said, "Hey, just do that. Get into the machining." You know, I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm a welder. I'm gonna go do this." He said, "No, that's part of it. You need to take night classes." I said, "Okay, yes, sir." And I started taking night classes in the machine shop. It's helped me my whole life. Little things like that. Try to encourage people. It's a blessing. It's you can't get the satisfaction from watching other people do good if you don't try to help them, you know? And it's a ton of satisfaction. It's really cool. So
I think that was another takeaway from 2024, is the fact that we wanted our place to become a safe place, that people could come here, kids included, and to encourage people, because it means a lot when you have someone that you feel like is in your corner.
Hegseth, Steve Osgood. Guys, Mr. Steve Osgood has a great email he puts out. He sends it to me all the time. I don't know how to put you in contact with Mr. Steve to get it. It's thorough. It's some stuff that I usually can't talk about on YouTube.
But it's good to read.
It's good to know.
Yep.
So I don't know how you want to do that, Mr. Steve, but I'm sure he would like to put you on that list, because it's just good stuff. Hegseth, he mentioned Hegseth.
Pete, man, I hope he turns out to be what he is. They tore him apart, the Democrats did, about his personal life.
Oh yeah, his drinking and his abuse towards women.
He was married a
they
couple times.
always throw that in there.
They do.
Kavanaugh.
They did that, yeah.
Man, that guy was so, it seemed like he was just been a good person his whole life.
Here's the thing
and drug him through
somebody
the mud.
it was so awesome. He made, and I forget who it was when they were doing the confirmation, and he made a comment. He said, "How many of you guys have showed up late at night for a vote drunk?" Oh my goodness. He called them out. So how much a personal life should come into something like that? I think to some degree, maybe some, but man, not to the point that they dragged those guys through the mud. I wouldn't want my life up there being on confirmation, because God knows I'm not perfect.
Mike Hughes asked a question. Tell me, you two, what problems have you had with immigrants? Okay, that's a good question. And here's the problem I have with illegal immigration. There's some really good people that come from Mexico to here. They have one heck of a time dealing with everything they have to do to remain here illegal. They mostly stay in poverty. The system is broken, and it doesn't get any better by letting more illegals in. Now, as far as what could happen with these illegals, the bad people, they're not sending their best. See, immigration used to be a wonderful thing for a country. The people that have drive and are smart enough to do that, you know, to pick up, move. I mean, America was founded by some really awesome people that immigrated.
They did.
And lost everything they had and died to form this country. That's the kind of person that we would love to have in America to build a society. But you don't get that kind of person when you promise them entitlements, free food, free welfare, free everything, free child care. And what's strange is the undocumented immigrants that I know don't get those things. The people that have been here for over 20 years trying to get citizenship, you know, yes, they broke the law. I understand that.
Good people, though.
Great people. They're not getting the handouts that the people that are just now coming over, and they are mad about it. It creates division so much so.
They don't even get, so there's a girl that graduated from high school the other day who I know, the dad's legal, the mom's not. They're trying to get her legal. The daughter's here. She wasn't born here, so she doesn't have citizenship. but she went to high school, graduated with honors, but she could not get a scholarship that she was supposed to get. She would have been, had she been a citizen, she would have gotten a scholarship, and she was denied that scholarship because she was not legal. So I feel sorry for him. She said she's scared to drive. She's always worried that she's going to be pulled over and detained. So I don't know how they do it, but there's good and bad ones. But we know some good ones.
Wow, Native D's really getting upset.
What is it?
She's calling somebody an idiot. I don't know.
Oh. No, please, guys, no ugly language. No ugly. We try to keep this very clean. Everyone has their opinion.
Charger Mopar timed her out.
Everyone
Thanks,
has their
bud.
opinion, and, you know, we see sometimes both sides.
It's okay. You just have to be able to talk about it like a grown-up, you know, like somebody that has a brain, and that can say, okay, well, I see where you're coming from. Can you see where I'm coming from? And,
right.
and you kind of talk about it. But a lot of times when the other side is wrong, they go into what's called a fit of rage. And you can read about that in the Bible, and it's very noticeable. And they lose it. Charger Mopar was talking about in his live stream he just did. Really interesting guy. Can do about anything. He is a carnivore. Like, he eats meat and a little bit of vegetables and fruit, not much. And he can't have a conversation with the vegans because they lose their mind. They just lose it. And it's like, why do we have to be like that? So, you know, just have a grown-up conversation, and we can talk just about anything.
Well, Chris and I don't always agree. You know, there's different things that we talk about, and there's some things we will probably never completely agree on.
It takes me a while to teach her that I'm right. She's work in progress.
But you gotta sit down and you gotta talk about it. I mean, there's some things I don't agree with my parents on. It doesn't mean that we don't have conversations. I have friends that I don't agree with all, you know.
You're right, Fred. Most of us here are like-minded, but trolls are everywhere. That's okay. I kind of want to invite the trolls, you know, try to welcome them. About the only way to turn somebody, to help somebody, is to actually help them. Because a lot of people have scales on their eyes, literally they can't see. And if you could, through kindness, because when you know what you know and you know you're right, you know what you believe and stand for, it's easy to try. That stuff just kind of rolls off of you, you know. I know when I was younger, I would get all mad, and you know, I couldn't understand why they didn't understand. But later on in life, I had to realize, well, they just don't understand. You know, I don't understand what you don't understand, but we could talk about it, and then try to help them. Try to help them do something. Like a liberal stuck on the side of the road because he ran over a Trump sign. Well, that would make a lot of people mad, but what if you helped them get out of the ditch and helped them on?
I gotta remember that. Emotional responses kill critical thinking. True. Uh-oh, we
Crop
have no
duster,
sound.
no sound. Somebody's calling me. It's probably, it's back. I'm thinking we're back. Okay, good. Thank you, Rick. Back. Thank you, Pete. Okay, prop, engage, close it out, and reopen. The audio's back. We're back. My phone, I'm going off my phone this morning, and it was ringing. Somebody was calling me, which always happens when I'm trying to make a video or do a live stream. So thank you for persevering through that.
Well, one more thing also that he said that one of the things that he said he's going to do, and this was in the World Economic Forum speech. If you guys haven't listened to that speech, you need to go listen to it. He talked about regulations. He talked about taxes. He said he's going to do small businesses and corporation taxes. He's going to reduce them to 15%. You guys, man, if you can open up a business in LLC and you only got 15%, that's pretty good. So it's something to
Man, that's
think
such a
about.
good idea. A hobby, whatever you have. Your business doesn't have to make money for 3 years. You can write off so much, and you just about have to. Think through that. Put in here if you've done that. How many you've done? Because I know I've got a lot of entrepreneurs in here, people that
Trying to keep up
have
with the
done
comments.
it. They have started a side hustle, just like Hoosier Warrior Coffee. They started
Yep.
a side hustle,
I love it.
and then they started, pushing towards that, and then all of a sudden that's what you're doing, and you're happy because it was like your passion to begin with. It's really cool. I'd like to see how many people would do it, have done it, are in the process of doing it, who's thinking about it. I just ran into the delivery guy that delivers metal to my shop, and he was full of questions. It's almost like he was watching the channel. I don't know. But he got out of the truck and he was talking about LLC, and he's doing a carpet cleaning business, and I encouraged him the best I can. I told him all the reasons why to get LLC, and there's a lot of things you need to do above just getting an LLC for the tax write-offs. If your business is what you're going to do, you need to set up an operating agreement and a few things to cover you legally.
You need to pay yourself.
So your limited liability
You don't penetrate the
works.
veil. Yep.
Right. So this is kind of a side note.
If you do, get an attorney. You need to know what you're doing. Get someone to explain it to you. Don Spencer just said, first time commenting, long time watching. Good to see you guys. Oh, hi,
Thanks, Don. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for commenting.
Interested in starting a wellness business in Michigan. Did rentals in 2010. Fred did rentals in 2010, 2012, sold everything 2017. Waiting to get back in. Me too. We sold all but one rental, and I would like to encourage people to start learning how to do that. I don't know when it'll be. I'm not sure. Nobody knows, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing actual fix-up and flips on this channel. That's going to be something that's going to really help a lot of people. And there's nothing like getting a check in the mail and learning how to vet renters and meeting people, because if you do it right, you don't miss rent and you get paid, and it's a lot of fun. It's one of the most rewarding things I've done business-wise.
Yep, we actually have them pay Venmo, and it makes it a lot easier. We've been telling them we're going to do a video. Let's do it, about how to get rental properties with zero down. We've been saying that now for, and it's not maybe time for you to do rental properties right now, but we need to do that.
Okay, so Stacy has got, she's taken some kids, friends and girls and kids to a Jurassic Park dinosaur thing.
Yes.
And I think they just pulled up. So
I'm so excited.
I'm really pumped. My buddies come over to hang out with me. I'm building some things to move some containers, a container dolly. I'm gonna do a video on that on the welding channel. Check out Taylor Welding. Check out Charger Mopar. Put your channel up here, Rick. I can't remember what it is at the moment. It's Rick something. And if I miss you guys, next time, Mr. Kissy, Crop Duster, CB Carmack, Miss Nancy, Linda, Steve Osgood,
I saw
Glenn,
Catherine Cage in here too. I know there's so many.
Amy Lynn in Tennessee.
Good to see you guys.
I know I didn't catch y'all, but I do appreciate each and every one of you. When I say you're the salt of the earth, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Have an awesome, awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Later.
Skippy, did you decide to join us? You kind of came in late.